All right, you guys, this is a great one for us. The triangle right here. We've been trying to get, this is Nick Moore from Nick Moore Performance on the table since we started this. Jay, introduce the people to Nick Moore, man.
Man, this is Nick Moore. Definitely a real car guy, not just RCs, but on one-to-one scale too. That's how I met him over 20 years ago at a racetrack, Sears Point Raceway in Sonoma County. And since then, it's just been real cars and RC cars on up. So it's the guy to talk to about some cars.
And Nick right here, Nick is the cue to my James Bond. You know, when we started this, I went off Jay's philosophy from the very gate. Is you know what, Chris? We're just gonna get you a ready-to-run vehicle and just get you out there. And that philosophy has got us this far, you know. But in the background, what you guys didn't know is I had Q, and we were brainstorming, and these are his builds right here. This is stock, but we're gonna get into all this right here. But I wanted to let you know on the backstory of this guy's been here from the very beginning. Went through it all. So with that said, we want to let you know, Nick, tell these people about how to build things and what inspires you to start a build from table to table. These are all yours. Show these people what you do, man.
All right, so the answer to your build, there's no real right answer. It's what works for your terrain, what's local, what you like to drive. Between all these trucks, I have very different builds. This was the first SCX 10-2 that I built. It started out as a ready-to-run Cherokee. Did some mods to it. Honestly, a great truck out of the box, but you know, of course, I wanted to play with it. I wanted to, you know, upgrade it, make it better.
Tell him the frame.
So, right now it is on a G-Speed frame. It has Boom Racing shock towers. It's got the Castle Slate motor with Mamba X ESC, which has just been a killer combo. The Proline Scalar shocks, which have been great up until now. Proline is going to be releasing, or you know, has released a new updated shock for that, which I'm going to be very excited to see. We also are running a Holmes Hobby servo because after a while, you know, you just wear down everything, and I bought 3 or 4 of the cheaper servos, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to spend the money and get a quality one that's not going to break and it's rebuildable, and hopefully that will be over with. It's been reliable so far for him, and he drives his trucks like I do, which is just not nice at all.
That took a year for this man to build, and as soon as it hit the ground, we took it. That's true.
Yeah, pretty much as soon as it was done, he wanted it.
And it's been an amazing truck, knowing that, look, this is our brother. He could take these back whenever he wants because this is family. But that truck took him a year, and that inspired from, tell him what you did next, dude.
So after that, I wanted to build something completely different. Well, moderately different. So I went with the Rancho approach. That would be Wraith axles under an SCX 10 chassis.
I'll hold that for you.
Now, you could run a 12.3 wheelbase, which would put it similar to this, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to run Wraith axles, let's try Wraith links. Also running a G-Speed chassis on this, which made it a lot easier to get all the geometry correct and everything to work right. I designed this rig to be a 1.9 or 2.2 rig. You guys will be seeing videos of it on 2.2s very soon, because I think he's just going to see it's a whole different truck. Now, the long wheelbase is built strictly to kill hills.
Which you guys have seen me and Jay do at Mount Diablo, but we're going to do more. But we wanted to get it out there because, Jay, tell them what you thought of this truck at Mount Diablo, man.
It does great. It definitely reaches. It has power, and definitely does what it's built for.
And I mean, the other thing you'll see is there's not many accessories on this truck. I kept it pretty lightweight. For being as big of a truck as it is, it's really not that heavy compared to the other ones. And we'll talk about lightweight versus heavyweight at another date, but pretty much light, you don't have to grab as much traction to pull the truck up. You're not fighting the weight of the truck up the hill, and it just makes it a little bit easier. So from there, you know, I was like, all right, build a 10.2, build a completely one-off truck, and let's do another one-off truck. So I went and I started to build this Bronco.
Hold up, Jay. Tell them about this paint job you just did to this thing, man.
This is fresh out the paint booth right here. Just showing what you could do on a deadbolt style body. Just trying to come a little different, and this is what we came up with here.
Did a great job, man.
Thank
I love
you.
the call that a Sunnydale fade in San Francisco with the roll cage right there. That's
Right.
real.
And honestly, Jay saved that body. I painted when it was too cold. There was cracks. It was an absolute mess. So he was able to save it and make it look good on top of all
Don't
that.
throw away your old bodies.
Yeah.
Repaint them on the outside and keep practicing.
Nick, tell them what you did with this thing right here.
Okay.
This is a different frame too. This is not a G-Speed frame, is
No,
it?
this is not G-Speed frame. So this is actually a brazen frame. Just want to try out a different chassis, you know, because it's all just trial and error, you know, and seeing what you like. Originally, this truck was set up with a Castle Slate system, and I was looking for axles because I just had the frame and I had the transmission. I was going to build from there. Well, you know, I was looking and didn't want to use Wraith axles again, and then SCX10, the original ones, were still selling for $75 to $100 a pair, depending on condition and what's been done. So I was like, you know what? RC 4-wheel drive sells their axles for the D90 separately, and they look pretty scale. They're metal. Why not? Let's give it a shot. Those have been the weak point of this build. Mainly the shock mounts, which we got some Boom Racing brass shock mounts for it, and it seems to have solved a lot of the problems.
The brushless really beats on those axles.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of the internals are the same as the axial ring and pinion and all that stuff. It's actually interchangeable, but just with the casting and all that stuff, the brushless power just beat it up. So I kicked it over to a Holmes Hobby 27-turn brushed motor. It's the cheapy $18 motor, but it's a 550 can. It's a little more heavy duty. That is backed up by a Hobby Wing ESC, because in all reality, you don't have to spend all this money on the big brushless systems and all that. You know, the brush motors do fine. The brushless is
Can we
just
take this
purely
one
a
in the water?
preference. If you seal the ESC better, yes, absolutely, you can take that one in the water. But yeah, that's another thing. Brushed does a lot better with water than brushless. So from there, I got my two trucks I'm playing with right now. I have basically a bone stock, out of the box 10.2 Honcho. I bought that at the same time I started building the low C build, but we'll get to that in a second. So far, all I've done to this truck is wheels and tires, and I took it to Mount Diablo and it absolutely killed it. I was impressed through and through. It honestly made a couple of us laugh at how capable the out-of-the-box rig really is with just wheels and tires. I mean, I was hanging with $800 to $1,000 rigs with my out-of-the-box truck, and I rolled it a couple times down some things that, you know, those other trucks would have shattered, and it just popped back up on its wheels and kept going. So,
But from a builder's perspective, that looked like funny to you. But that's the perspective of Jay, just ready to run trucks like this. You've seen us from everything from the CRC to this. We're kicking butt with these stock trucks, and like you said, you're hanging with, you know, some people get carried away, and that's cool. $1,100, you know, accessories is crazy. You can do whatever you want, but you can take a fresh out the box. Most money you're gonna spend is on a battery, and you're hanging with a $1,100 truck.
yeah, and it's going to be reliable. You know, the thing that you do get through upgrades and building is you get better feel for the truck. It feels a little more stable on the trail. You know, with this truck out of the box, you have to drive it a lot more than you would any one of these trucks. You know, it will get up it, but you have to make the truck get up it. It's
You have to
purely
find that line. That's
purely the driver and, you know, just being used to it and not being scared to do it. But